So anyone who knows me can look at my pictures to see that I was never this ugly. I was never a mean person. I never did drugs. I've never been arrested. I don't have tear ducts anymore. Why does everybody want me to die? Why is it okay that we just give a sad emoji now? Because I'm not pretty anymore. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. I embarrass you because of my looks. But you are more ugly than I could ever be. And I look pretty ugly. So you remember that when you compare me with my pictures. They'll never be as ugly as you. And anyone who is listening to this who feels like I do, I tried. Nobody cares. No one cares if you're ugly. Only what you used to look like. And now Google took all my pictures off of my phone. My pictures. There's nothing wrong with them. It just looks like I'm catfishing someone. They think I stole my own identity. I know you think it's funny, but nobody cares. They're treating me like some kind of homeless drug addict. I don't have tear ducts because of my transplant that Moffitt gave me. I'm a Moffitt patient. Here's my information. So I am who I say I am. They're not doing me any justice. I'm not even in the hospital. And the guy I was with, an EMT firefighter, he left me. He just abandoned me because I wasn't pretty anymore. And then my parents never liked me. So when I got sick, they just made a scene and had me removed. So I'm left to die. I have so many bad complications that I can barely take care of myself. And they want me to, everyone wants me to get admitted to an old folks home, and I'm not old. Just because this video shows the ugly side of me, I'm viewing your ugly side, right? And if any of you sat there and say, oh, you're so pretty, you can suck it. Looks have nothing to do with this. This is serious. They are basing my health and my life on my looks. That has got to stop. And you guys can look at my pictures and look at my posts and everything, because I am not this ugly. This is horrible to be treated this way. I won a hero award in after 9/11 in 2001 in Fort Myers, Florida, off of B103.5. I had nothing to do with that contest. I did not admit myself. I was honored privately because I don't like to have things like that exposed to me. But now I have no choice because everyone's ready to let me die. And I can't do this alone. I need specific help. I just need, I don't know, not throwing money at the problem. You can't throw money at ugly. Something's got to be different. I don't know why everyone is like, oh, I gave you $5 or I gave you $50. You guys are, well, only the ones, unfortunately, that I've had to understand, I thought knew me. And they're the first ones that put me on a noose and hung me and sold tickets, basically. So because of little trolls, they are destroying my pictures, my life, and I've done nothing but gave back to everyone. So why everyone is taking from me where are they getting that I ever took from them? I can vouch for anything in any way I know them or if I never met them. And I've took people to court, or they've took me to court, and it didn't pan out for them. So if you're trying to get away with something and we can't go to court, this is on you. Because I die, it's because of you. I don't know, I can start naming names. It doesn't have to be on social media to make thunder. It doesn't, because I'm close enough to where I can do this way before social media. So this is nothing. This is just easier, but things have been done way before social media. And so I can do this with or without social media. I can do this with or without you. I just thought maybe you would want a better review about yourself of the story I would say about you. So as you can tell through this conversation, I've went from totally upset. That's what got me on this video, because Google and Facebook took all my pictures and everything down. And it's me. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed, beautiful girl, that is me. And that was less than a year ago for the other pictures. So my blonde hair, that was less than 4 years ago. So screw you. Facebook and Google for taking my pictures out of my personal phone, and you took them off. Why would you do that? And then you want to, behind closed doors, pick on me and take me off, but you have no reason. So whoever told you lies, I need their names and everything, because they need to be sued for derogatory, making me look bad. I'm a patient at Moffitt in Tampa, and I have to go every freaking week, twice a week, for life-saving procedures. So if you want to find me, there's a start. But I'm telling you right now, you better understand what it is you're looking for, because you're going to find it. Good, bad, or indifferent, you're going to find it. I am one of the most positive people you will ever meet in your life. You will never meet anyone who cares like I do for you. That can be amazingly high or amazingly low. And I don't decide this. You do. The only enemies I've ever had are the ones who tried to rape me, the ones who did steal from me, the ones who tried to make me look bad. Now, whoever's trying to make me look bad seems to be getting a new definition and losing its original. So I would be very careful how you view this video. Anyone, everyone, Facebook, Google, it doesn't matter. If you want to cut me off of social media, I was media before social. So it's fine. I won awards for my marketing skills way before social media. So this to me is just child's play. So you need to either work with me or continue on looking stupid, because there's nothing that I've done to make you be so derogatory over one itty-bitty little person like me that has one problem with everybody. Just because your friends or whatever is complaining to you and to stop me, I have human rights. And just to be an American gives me freedom of speech. And Google and Facebook is taking that away. So be very careful on what you want to say. See, I don't have a problem with that. I've never had to be careful what I've said. I've always understood I had to be careful. I was beaten all my life. I've sat there and listened to serial killers admit and talk about their childhood. That's my childhood. but I haven't killed anyone. But I've witnessed you killing them, or you doing wrong. So I can work with FBI, whoever, to make a huge tsunami on a lot of people. So for me to get on Facebook and go, oh, well, so-and-so did this, that's not my game. I am way too proficient and too professional to do that. So if I'm going to get in trouble, I need to go where I can be taken care of. So, and I'm not in mental or anything. And I know my parents, well, my stepmonster, when they got the call, he told my family what to say and had me committed. But they couldn't hold me because I stood up for myself, because I'm not a retard and I'm not mental. And people need to understand the difference between the three, because having what you go through is your own personal experience that you should be able to express. Why people are mandating and being so abusive towards me and me being attacked for it is silly, stupid, and just wrong. And if you feel that anyone that I'm talking of, if someone out of the 2 people, 5 people, I don't know. So this video is literally, I'm thinking 50 people, maybe 100. But for the small amount of people I had on Facebook, I knew them from childhood, from when I moved there and went to school with them. So they're hideous. But I still love Tennessee. But the town I'm from, creepy, tried to kill me, tried to rape me. They tried everything. And when they couldn't do that, they let me get through and get by. And I said, okay, bye. So obviously me doing this video is indicating that I've lost everything, including my health. So look at what you got, because this is what you had, and you throwing it away is not why you think it was thrown away. That's just really sad that people think that I'm worried about the way I look, and this whole time you guys value my survival off the way I look and the way that you perceive me, and because of the friends I have. Or I didn't understand Facebook because I was always on MySpace, and then I was sick at Moffitt for years, and I didn't know any of this. I didn't do any of this. So when I got out, I was really excited, and it was just the most shocking, devastating thing. It was like my 16th birthday, my sweet 16 surprise party. Included people that I did not associate with. They were all potheads and everything, and I had no idea. None of my friends were invited, but my family, my stepmonster said that, no, these are your friends. I'm like, where are, I started naming common names. Oh, I don't know, they don't like you. So I knew, that wasn't right. So I have not been stupid. Why have you guys been stupid? Not everybody. I'm saying the ones who understand my personal situation. I've been escaping all of my life, and everyone just sees me as what? It just seems like a throwaway, because that small town that I'm from, there was a highly respected person that molested me, and he ended up getting busted for drugs. But that's not the reason that everyone seems to remember. And if you want to know why he got busted and you didn't, is because you and I had no problem. I don't care what anyone does. Do drugs all day. You can just shoot it all you want. Get me involved. Do anything to me. I'll do whatever I can to justify and protect me. Just like I did for any of you that know me in that way. I have always been there for people. I always will be. Right now, I'm here for anyone who has been judged like this. And if you haven't been through this yet, this is going to be happening, because this is what happens when you are between the ages of care. So if you are 32 to 49, you're screwed. I'm just letting you know, we are screwed. Look at what they've done to me. When nothing worked, I mean, they waited until the very last minute. No one would help me, even though I begged. Like the doctor, Dr. Birdsley, I begged him for just a simple blood test. And he finally just looked at me and says, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, so I just need to fire you? He goes, yep. And I'm like, okay. So I went to the next doctor. She wouldn't give me one. So I had to go to WebMD. I swear to God, all my life, I had to go to WebMD. And because of my symptoms, put them in, because this has been going on for over months. Like, I was gaining weight, I couldn't work out, and I'm a workout fanatic, right? So I'm like, something's wrong. So my sister, I told her what was going on, and it was like, there's got to be something natural, but none of the doctors would tell me. There was a bioidentical doctor right down the road from them, and he's very highly known. But if you don't know this information, nobody's going to tell you. Like, you have to know that it exists to even know what you're looking for. So what I'm going through, all of my spiritual awakenings, I'm realizing that. But I have short-term memory, and it's not my memory to remember. So I can prove that that's like spirits talking or something, because I don't think you can supposedly remember that. But I don't know, there's just so much going on, and I just had to talk myself down. How about that? And I don't mind having it on video, because if anything, I think anyone can see that no matter what, you can calm down. But that's not going to fix this, guys. I really need an opportunity to live. I don't need money thrown at me. I need for people to come together and say, what is it that you need? Because I don't need it from you. I need people to pick it. How about that? For all patients, like myself, that doesn't want to be a patient. Like, I see people coming in and out of all ages that love being a patient. They don't want to be anything else, and they don't want you to disrupt that. They don't want to be talked out of being a patient. I'm not that person. I don't want to be a patient. I don't want to sit back and do nothing. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die trying. That's always been my motto. And I've never died trying something stupid. Dangerous? Yes. Drugs, alcohol, stuff like that? No. I did drink when I was younger, but I didn't know better. I literally quit drinking 3 months before I turned 21. I was already getting into the clubs and everything by 17. Yeah, 16, 17. Oh, yeah, so I knew what clubs and everything was at 16. And for all the parents and everything out there that are like, you know, with their good daughters, your good daughters and I hung out. That's the problem, right? So if we were hanging out, then I know these girls are hanging out, because they think that they're more sly than I was. And just by looking at me, they think that they know more than I do. It was a hot tamale, and I see that now. I don't think I was, but you guys do. Not all of you. I'm not, I'm just talking about the little smidgen I have on here that have shown me that my looks is the only thing that mattered to you. That's it. Everything else is just a sad emoji. So you guys have to stop being sad for me, because I was just trying to inform everyone. But this is somehow getting to where it's turning on people. because instead of everyone coming to my aid to see what's needed, everyone's spread out and hiding for cover. So I was trying to figure out why, but then most of it I don't care. I mean, I didn't know them anyway, so no hard loss. I mean, they were pretty ruthless, but it was because of a very small pinpoint of people that I grew up with that it just looked so horrible. And I cared. I really did. That's why I fought so much about it, but I wasn't fighting. I was trying to mend, and they didn't want anything to do with it. So, okay, no beef off of my back. I'm dying here. I got much more problems than to worry about if you're my friend or not. But without people, it's not even worth being here. I mean, if you know what I look like, you would know that this is just so atrociously unfair, because I don't care what I look like. Nothing compared to what you do. You guys, not all of you, please don't take this. Just the ones that I would not mind dating, I wouldn't want to date me. You see what I'm saying? So the type that I probably could get, I don't want. So therefore, thank goodness for machinery. So I never have to want for anything or from you. So, and I can already see that I am not a desire of looks, which that's fine with me. Listen, I was a stripper for years, so I understand what looks mean to people. But yet I got all the most beautiful, wonderful conversations. Some very scary ones too. But you got to learn. You got to be smart. You can't think that you're smarter than them, because that's what gets you killed. That's what gets you hurt. But you have to know you. And that's something that the devil can't do. The devil doesn't know you. The devil can only assume that you can get jealous of it, because they look at me. The devil sees through our eyes, so whatever you see is what you get. And that is my problem, is that not everybody sees me for who I am. They want to, even the people who know me the best, they won't even look past my looks. So I don't know if they're upset because I never went their way. I don't know. I have no idea why everyone is so upset at a dying girl. Makes no sense. But I am dying, and it's really bad that I got to prove it by dying. So I would rather not be dying. So I don't know. If I can't get the patient care that I need here, I don't know what to do. I mean, this is ridiculous. They send all kind of health care here, but they're not allowed to do any of the things I need them to do. But they do offer to bathe me. And I'm like, unless you're a cute young guy, you're not touching me. Like, I used to get paid to take showers. Like at the club, we had the big shower. Obviously, I still had a bathing suit on. There was no nudity there at all, or I would not have done it. And all you had to do, just be in the shower. You're away from people. It's just, it would mess up your hair and makeup. But you'd have to get paid like $300 just to take a shower for like 2 or 3 songs. It was worth it. So if that meant I didn't have to touch anybody and be admired through a glass window, sure, I was up for it. I don't mind that anywhere. So I'll be looking for plated glass windows, I guess. I'm very comfortable behind those. But I was always comfortable on stage too. I always loved dancing, but I didn't realize it took a stage to get there. And when I found it on the strip club, but it wasn't nudity, I figured it out to make it work. So I just thought that I was on the beach every day, and it was just a blast. But I saw a lot of bad things, and I seen why a lot of girls can go bad, because I've just seen a lot and through my life, because between high school, running away, and then my parents, not even, maybe 7 months after I ran away, they ended up going bankrupt. Wonder why? Because they tried to sell me when I was young. So obviously they couldn't stop me from getting out, because no one could get me to do wrong. So they parted ways. And when I say they, I mean the city, not my parents. My parents were left with them. That's why Sammy and Kevin let me fail at the car business, because they were going out of business and gave me their site, their location, because it was right on 41. And then they hung me out to dry, because they were telling the Spanish community, because they don't speak Spanish, but the employees, were very aggressively disgusting people that he had. They were filthy. They were really bad. And they convinced the Spanish people that it was me that sold them the vehicle. And I'm like, no, that's the... And then they were like, well, that's your family. I'm like, they never claimed me, so I don't know why they're claiming me now. So they sunk me. So if anyone is afraid of me sitting here bad-mouthing anyone or something, I'm not. I am the one who's been bad-mouthed. I don't think that's right. I mean, if you want to start any conversation saying, well, I thought you... No, then you're ignorant, or because you know me. If you don't know me, then you're not going to start by saying, I thought that it's the people who don't know me who are so inspired by me, but yet the trolls on here are, for whatever reason, taking things so personal that they're really making it worse for people that this is meant for. So trolls now have control of social media. They're now trolling to patrol and control you, because for some reason Google and Facebook is all out for me. So this video may not even make it, even though it's live. They can still take it off. And if not, then they're going to not let you watch it. Because if they can take my pictures off of my personal camera, my personal phone, which I think is the most disgusting, disrespectful thing that you could ever do to anyone, especially when they gave you their confidence in them, just like I did Moffat, just like I did my parents, and just like I did my ex. They all left me when I got ugly. So is that what you're telling me? Because I'm not that pretty girl anymore, that I'm not worth putting my pictures on there of her? That is so sad. That is so wrong that you would even do that. And for people trying to figure out what I look like, up yours. Because I guarantee you, even if you think you're the most attractive person, even if guys are falling all over you or whatever, let me tell you, they got you. You know what I'm talking about. You all pretty. The second you're not protected, they're going to take you, and they're going to use you, and then they're going to put you right back where they left you, and no one's going to believe you, because that's what happened to me. So I'm just letting you know, if you're the one other person this video is for, you will be taken, and there is nothing you can do about it except hide behind you're ugly. But when you do that, people are going to be convinced and assume you don't know this person. So how does that feel? That you are the most pretty person that they like, but they're offended by what you look now, trying to represent a pretty person.
That's messed up. Facebook needs to face what they're doing to everybody. And Google needs to Google themselves, because now I don't even need Google, because I already have all the information you gave me. You guys are asking me for information. So I understand what I have to do, and I know how to read a map. So if you want to just take my phone, number one, that'll help me save money because I'm not paying my bill. And as far as my phone number, I've had my number since 2000. So if you want to take my cell number, 239-980-2013, it's not going to do you any good. So whatever it is that you want to destroy a poor, helpless, disabled, dying patient of Moffitt in Tampa is beyond me. I mean, you think I'm a bitter hen. I'm neither of those. You can ask them. And I'm also a 5-star driver for Lyft. But since I don't have a nice car, I get $5 less than anyone else. And $8 less because I am VIP. I give things. I don't sell things. So I give mint some pieces of, I don't know, whatever I have, like suckers or organic, the organic, what is it? The chewies. You know what I'm saying? Like the jelly bean ones, the little bear ones. But anywho, whatever, like organic, but little things like that. And then I have like a nut and fruit mix, little bags, little baggy things that I give out. Not to everybody, but if they're in my car for more than 10 minutes and they seem to be nice. Ooh, and I give free Frosties from Wendy's. So I have the coupons, but then I went and I got the little pins. So each of those pins are good for a year. So I give those out. So it's like, if they're really nice and stuff, I want them to keep remembering me, if they can keep up with the pin. So I don't know why all the beef with Facebook and Google with me. Why you want to make me disappear? I am way too much help, I think, and inspiration, possibly, maybe. I don't know. But I'm certainly not a bully. And I'm certainly not sitting here trying to be risque. If anything, I'm trying to prove my right that, pretty or not, I deserve to live. And you guys, as a whole, as America, I don't know. I mean, it's social media, it's an easy troll, right? So I'm torn apart and taken off. But in real life, like every day, it's hard for me to get out there and work now with all my complications. But when I do, I mean, I've literally had them like just so amazed by my stories. So I'm really confused why Facebook and Google are going this way. I think you need to be looking the other way, because that's people who are coming after me. And just because I'm not as pretty as I look, you can look at my site if Facebook hasn't took all of my beautiful pictures down. And that's horrible. You need to give them back. And if they're not returned to me, I have pictures of really more important people that can't be gotten, and I've already printed them off. So I'm not going to blackmail. I'm just going to market. I'm an excellent marketer. So this could go either way. So I would just be very careful, whether you want to post this or not. I watch the documentaries behind the documentary, so I understand who is watching this as this is being videoed. do America a favor, do me a favor, do everyone else a favor. Just let me be me. That's because I'm not mean. I'm a very nice, caring, loving person. You ask any respectful person that knows me, they'll agree. But if they're haters, or if I know something about them, they are on my page too, for very other different reasons. So, and that's for me to know. You don't look at my site. Like, I know there's just a couple of people, believe it or not, from a small town in Tennessee that sit there and just started a fire. And they're so nobodies. And I'm not bringing them up, and I'm not starting an argument or anything, because I'm not even putting them on here. I'm just trying to say, you don't go by this much about a person when you want to erase them. You need to know the whole thing. And if you don't want to, you're not going to be social media forever, because people like Christopher Walken, that man has never even bothered with social media. We were all fine without social media. This is just like a telephone call. So if you want to monitor it more than that, then I don't see how Facebook is going to be able to withstand what's happening, because good people like me are being attacked. Or because when I see a post that I know for a fact would upset people because it's me that they upset, or someone that I know went through something similar, I can see where a person can be a better person from their post. I don't bother with just anyone. But if you're on my page, I kind of figure, it's there for a reason. So I'll reply. The thing I found out, though, is like the support pages, and I'm going through a lot of really bad things. They're putting false information on there because they don't think anyone's going to care. And if they do, they think it's funny. They just want to be a patient. They're just trying to find the most strangest, rare thing and be a patient of it. And that is ridiculous. I never heard of such a thing, but it exists, because I was on these pages until they just started putting all these horrific false information. So I'm telling you right now, if you get in my predicament, you're screwed, because there's no information out there. It's all fake. They literally don't want you to survive this. So they're not putting helpful things on here. They tell you that this is it and that's as far as you're going. And if you believe that, you're screwed. And you're like, well, they're the professionals. No, they're not. Not all of them are. Not all of them care to be. They're just there for the money. They don't care about you. That's what they got the other people for. As a matter of fact, you can get a job to just not do anything. Like, your job is literally to hold the door open. Yeah, you can get paid $15 an hour for that. So maybe that's what I'll do now. I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just stop everything and try to just get a measly old job and see how far that'll go. I don't know yet. I don't have the clothes to be employed. And, yeah, I can't continue that. That's just way too much for when you are a patient, and my body just gives out on me. And that's another thing. They are more concerned on your bowel movements than they are your complications, because they don't want to hear about your complications. They have to pay for your complications. They don't like that. No one likes to have to spend money on something, on a problem. So they're looking at me, because I had a car business and I understand it so well. They're looking at me as a salvage title, like a Toyota salvage title. Toyota's a great brand. Everything is wonderful about it. You don't want to see it go, but you understand when it's wearing down. And that's a shame, because, yeah, I'm built like a Toyota. I won't stop. I mean, you would really have to stop taking care of a Toyota for them to mess up. So, yeah, I could see that with me. Because even like Fords and Chevys, you guys know what I'm saying. Those things, though, the things that do break, you can replace yourself. And if you can't, then you're looking at some problems. Am I right? I know I am. Because Fords and Chevys were made for mechanics. That is a really good trade-off. And I don't know, the medical field, they're doing the subprime and prime. They're doing it just like credit. So when my credit was good, I got great treatment. And when the guy I was with, the EMT firefighter I was with, begged me to marry him, to save me, just to leave me. And no one cares. I don't get alimony. I get nothing. He got away scot-free. My evil stepmonster and my mom, they got away scot-free. Moffat, they're getting away with it. So I'm going to die, not because of anything I did. It's because of everything you didn't do. How about that? You killed Tracy Lewis, a.k.a. True Heel. I don't know any other way to even explain it. Either you killed me or you saved me, because I can't save myself. So if it's one person or a million people, think about it. If you put $1, and if it's 10,000 people, I can get me a car and I'm good. I don't need much, but people think because I lost everything, I need everything. I don't. I lost my home of 18 years. I lost my business of 20 years. I lost the relationship of 11 years. You ask them, because nothing was ever wrong. Everyone had it made with me. The moment I got sick, they wanted nothing to do with it. So, I don't know. You tell me. I think this is a mystery. My death is not a mystery, but people are not going to care enough to listen to this. Sorry. I have no idea. I always had a great life. I wasn't done living it. But on that note, a lot of things spiritually happened to me that has me convinced that there's a lot more to life that you guys aren't seeing. I just didn't want to go anywhere without you guys knowing, because I'm not selfish. I've never been stingy. If I had something, I gave you it, or at least tried to help you get it. You guys are taking away from me. So give and take, literally, you guys took and refused to give. And then when there was money, yeah, it's a long story, because the people that were watching my house for me while I was incubated at Moffat, they ended up demoing the whole house, the whole inside. And that was over $21,000. And I was freaked out. Like, we need this money. What are you doing? The house could have, I didn't even ask for that. And they were like, yeah, not a problem. Yeah, it'll be done before you get back. How? That was less than 100 days. And when we got home, there was no floor. There was no walls or no floor. And here I am, I had no immune system at all. I was completely incubated, but they couldn't hold me because they're not a hospital. So you got to be careful with this stuff. They'll take you in to experiment on you, and they'll spit you out. That's all that they're doing to me. They just spit me out. And they're like, well, what do you want us to do about it? I don't want you to do anything. I just need my life returned to me. I don't need everything. Not the house, not everything. I just asked. I just need a newer car because this '07 doesn't make me enough money. If I had a better car, I can make better money and not just work for Lyft. Like, I can make my own. So I just need a better car. And if that means you want to get paid back, that's fine too. Just don't be no loan shark, because I'm not, paying your high percentage, because I'm already paying that, and I never did anything to deserve it. So I remember telling everyone when I found out I had leukemia, I was freaked out. I thought everybody was coming to hug me. They were coming to take all their cars and everything from me. And I'm like, why is this? Just in case. How about that? So you get into anything. You have a child, you have a business, you have a life, you have anything going, and you decide that you're just going to live life to the fullest. You can, but you have to maintain certain things in order to live to the fullest. If you feel on negative things, you'll never know what life is. I do know what life is. And for whatever reason, everyone's convincing me that my life is over. I don't think I've said anything in this conversation to tell you that I want this over. I do want the nightmare over, but I don't want to die. So why do you want me to die? Literally, people are like, just go die. And you're thinking, well, those are trolls? No, this is my family and friends. I don't care what trolls say. Never have. Never been bullied. This is my family and friends. And my ex, he's an EMT firefighter. How does this happen? Because of me. He's able, of course, behind every man is a really awesome woman, right? Well, behind every good man should be an awesome woman. Well, that's even more, because there's a guy that before I got with my guy, I was seeing him. Yeah, this ain't gonna look good. But yeah, there's a lot to be said about people's opinions and where they want to point the fingers, because they might point them at me, and I got something to say, maybe not about you, but the person you're married to, the person you're, work with, the person I don't know. And then there's people on here that are so afraid that it's about them. And sweetheart, I'm not even thinking about you. I care enough about you to tell you to please mind your own business. But that hasn't done any good. You went to Facebook. You're trying to get me removed from Facebook. Like, that's a romper room. Like, you can't be heathen on Facebook. But at the same time, if they're going to take what I say down, and yet there are posts of guys posting these funny things, since they didn't say them, about slapping a woman because she wouldn't shut up. And then when I'm like, that is such an underwrite of women, what the heck talk about? And just seeing it, you know how when you can just imagine how someone is saying it, and then when you say it and you see yourself on video doing it, you're like, all right, you're just as stupid as them. So I understand that you can't act of the stupidity that you despise, or you are not. How about that? I don't despise stupidity. I just don't acknowledge it. And when it acknowledges me, it doesn't like what I say. So I'm trying to figure out the Facebook thing. If it's my page, I can post whatever I want. But if people post on my page what I don't like, I'm not allowed to tell them that I don't like their post. I don't cuss, and I don't say anything derogatory whatsoever. Now, I'm not saying that everyone on Facebook has any intelligence about themselves, because if we had to take an intelligence test to get on here, I wouldn't be having this problem. As a matter of fact, I would be so high vibration right now, it would be unreal. So it's just the thought of, the people that you think love you, that should love you, that you count on, that counted on you growing up, and they're just not there. You start to wonder, what was the sense of it all? But then you don't care, because you realize that's life. Let's keep on living it. So I don't want to think about them. I don't care about them. But they need to stop thinking about me, because the spirits are, telling me. So if you don't want me feeling like I have to defend myself, stop bringing it up. Stop talking about me. You think I am just being paranoid. I'm not being paranoid. I don't care what you have to say about me. If I did, you would be here or I would have never left. Okay? Let's put it that way. You are there for a reason. You are not here for a reason. If you think the reason is me, you are both right and wrong. Okay? And if you can figure that out, then you know my level of vibration. Unfortunately, I don't have that many smart friends on Facebook. But I'm finding better ones. I promise you, I'm finding better ones. I'm hoping that I get to the right page with the right people. I just went to school. I thought everybody was going to get along, and that was definitely not the story. But I'm a patient. So for me to find this out like this, like everything I went through and trying to piece everything back together to get back to the normalcy I had before all this, just to realize that, wow, every single person that was around me, no matter how amazing they are, and we're talking preachers and everything, you know, like, it's like, I know I have people on my Facebook that are for and against things that I am for or against. I don't tell them. I may express in a small way of things, but so why did my page get taken? Because it was only personal things, and those are my pictures that show nothing derogatory, and they are beautiful pictures, and I love those pictures, and I am so proud of them. And for you to take them down, they were just face pictures of my face. You took them, Google and Facebook, why did you take my pictures away? There was no nudity or anything in them. There was nothing. Those are my pictures. You guys are stealing my identity. You need to give me back my identity, you evil trolls. So give it back. Because if not, you can cut me off of here. But if you do, you're not going to know where I am or what I'm up to. Because nobody cares. So I can cause more trouble than what it's worth. I promise you. I can cause too much trouble. With or without you. So give me back my pictures. Immediately. And they were not on Facebook. These are pictures that are on my phone. My personal phone. That are not shared to you. And even though I understand there's contracts, there is still a moral to that. You give me back my pictures. You evil, evil social media troll. Not the individuals, the whole Facebook, Google. You guys are my friends, and then you do this to me? I don't think so. Why are you doing this? You need to answer to me and a lot of other people, because I don't hide things. I don't run and hide. But yet I have nothing to hide. I've done nothing wrong. So please tell me, what rules of yours do you think that I broke that no one else did? Because I didn't tell on them. And if I did, you wouldn't have a page, because they are very derogatory and disgusting. So just give me back my pictures. I don't care about them. Just, I don't understand why you took my pictures and my videos. Give them back. They're not yours. I paid for this. This is really horrible. And I know this isn't going to get it on the video. And that's too sad, because people need to know just how bad it is on here and how wonderful it can be. But we'll never know. And if you guys want to take people like me off of here, then that's your loss. That's not mine. You'll be begging for people like me, inspirational, positive, high vibrating people. You're going to be begging us to be on here, and we're not going to think of you for another second. So whatever everyone wants to do, that's fine. Because like I said, I had a huge, amazing life before the internet. So I just didn't know what to do with it, and they don't know what to do with me now. So how did that happen? I'm smarter, not smarter. I am more curious than any of your employees at Google, because you give me the question, I'll go find the answers, but you got to pay me for it. And that's going to be something you guys are going to be thirsty for, because I know more of this information than anybody else. So you guys, Google can't give me the information anyways, and if they want to take this away, what are they going to do? I mean, the Bible's everywhere. So I don't have to know the language. I just open up the book and read a scripture to get me through the day. And this is not talking religion whatsoever. God is not a religion. God is a reality. God is the reason you're here. And unfortunately, you're taking up some very valuable oxygen for people like us that deserve it better than you. And then for the awesome people on here, I'm trying. I really am. It is horrendous when you go from being a model and pretty and not even realizing it. And then you get sick and you have all the complications and you just don't look pretty. And nobody will even call you back. And I just don't understand that. It's like, we didn't get in an argument, nothing happened. It's just literally the way I look. And because I was so endoused with waking up, I woke up with my skin and hair and everything just melted. My lips still peel and burn. So everything on me feels like a sunburn. The inside of me feels like a sunburn. So when I walk, talk, swallow, eat, sit, do anything, it is a burn in my body, a constant burn. So when you have problems, I used to have chronic pain, a lot of chronic pain. So I understand it. I don't have that anymore. And it's not from the transplant. If anything, it's caused me more. So not only have I faced so many evils and demons, and never have I did a Ouija board. That's the hardest, that is the strongest thing I've ever done. A Ouija board and Jack Daniels. But like I said, I quit drinking. And the second, because when I was 16 and I could drive, my first thing was to get pregnant, because when I was 11, my mom had my sisters and they were thrown to me to take care of. And I loved it. It was so awesome. And they are amazing. But when I was, 15, stepmonster just, kept taking them away. So I was like, all right, I'll just go get my own. So I didn't care. They had to be cute. Like I wanted to know what my kids would look like. So I knew I wanted them to have blue eyes. So I knew I had to have sex with someone with blue eyes. And then the hair type, I really wasn't sure. So I kind of went with that. So I knew I wanted blue eyes. And they just had to be cute. And I did everything I could. And I did get pregnant. And I was really excited. But when my friends were getting pregnant, they were allowed to keep them, because I was forced to have mine aborted. I remember who I thought was my best friend and who I thought was my mom. So two people that took me to Nashville. to get this done. There were these picketers, and I didn't understand. I just thought that picketers were for workers. I didn't understand the abortion part. I didn't understand why I couldn't keep my baby. I did everything I could. I tried to call to see if someone could keep me for a little time because I couldn't quit high school. I was almost graduate, and Stepmonster knew that. So he wanted me to not graduate and just, I don't know, he just wanted me ruined because I never did what he wanted me to do. He would tell people how I just won't listen while I'm just being wild. But at the same time, yes, I would not listen. That was me staying away from him because he was so, I don't know, because his son, when Mom got pregnant with his son, I was 6. Yeah, I was 6. And he told me, if your mom doesn't have a boy, I'm leaving you and her because I don't want you. So that was not 6. Yeah, it had to be. Yeah, because Mom was pregnant. I was 5. So it was the idea of his son was the only thing he thought about. I was just in the way, and for whatever reason, they took me away from my grandparents who loved me, and it was all about God and everything with them. But the second they took me away, I never heard another word about God, and I wasn't allowed to. It wasn't that they were sacrilegious. It wasn't something. I don't know. I knew that he didn't have to get away with it. So I would stand my ground, and so since he couldn't get to me, he went around me. So it's pretty obvious how that's working out. I mean, the twins, when Mom had his boy, and then when I was 11, she had got pregnant, and I remember Stepmonster and his son yelling at her and me. Like, I was singled out because of her getting pregnant. And they tried to abort it, but it was too late. And then that's how they found out it was twins. I was excited, and I was so scared because I knew that they were trying to kill them. My mom would not eat, and she smoked about 3 packs of cigarettes. She did everything in her heart to get rid of them. And now they are so dependent on these girls that you would never know that. But when they were raising up, they were mine. I just doiled on them, and they just doiled on me, and I love it. So growing up, anytime, any opportunity, if I could hang out with you or your kids, I was hanging out with your kids. I knew what you were doing. And a lot of times I did not have the opportunity to have all the best of friends, so I made of what I had. I just made sure, even though I was a dancer, I did not strip nude or anything, and I didn't do anything like that. Now, the people I hung with, as long as they were drug-free, I really couldn't control any more of that. That being said, just because they were easy targets, guys would assume I was an easy target. They'd find out, but still my reputation was there just hanging out with them, and I understand that now. It shouldn't be that way because you shouldn't be judged, but you are judged by what you hang out with. I don't know. But like I said, I doubt very seriously this video is even going to go online. So I'm just going to go ahead and end it here. And thank you guys, or thank me. Note to self. Unfortunately, that's not true. Only because you can't live if you don't have love. And these are preachers. These are preachers' daughters. These are people who swear by God that are backstabbers. I still love my God. I don't know what God you worship, but he ain't going to win. The only one true creator, he's the only one who's going to win. So that's that. Whether I survive or not, I know where I'm going. And if I have anything to do with this world, I'll make sure the things don't change for you. And if they're good for you, I'll make sure they don't stay that way. Because I feel that if you can watch me challenge, then that's telling me that you can accept it as well. So if I had anything to do with it, there are people that I would literally inject this to. Not cancer, I would inject the transplant, the allogenic transplant, the worst kind, just like me, with no support, and they have everything riding on it. And they've never done anything wrong. So you have to go through all of those layers before you even know what this kid has been through. How about that? And so for people to be rude to me, I can dress up. I've got pictures to show. I can dress up and have makeup and everything on. That just proves no one's worth it. I love myself. I'm fine with the way I look. It's when people give me attitude that I want to call you out, right? Like we all want to call out the mean people. But they're like, oh, well, I wish I was that bold, And then other people are like, well, you just ignore them and go away. Ignore them and let them get away with it is what got me here. The only fault of my own is letting you guys get away with it all. Not everybody. You know what I'm saying? The evilness. So I'm not talking about anyone. I am trying to survive this mess. Like what, Sammy and Kevin, what Kevin has done to me. I literally witnessed him on the phone calling me all kinds of names when we had the business. And I'm like yelling at him when he was on the phone, like, what are you doing? What are you saying? Like, because it was all about them delivering the wrong car part. And all of a sudden I was the idiot. Like, I don't work for them. I'm not their delivery person. Why you? Oh yeah, it's my sister. She's a dumb bitch. Just call me all kinds of names. I've never used names like that. As a matter of fact, Step Monster buried a ground or put a line in the sand when he says, for me not to say the F word. Oh, whatever you do, just don't say the F word. 2 seconds after he said the word, it came out of my mouth probably like 5 times. 3 of them on purpose. The other 2, I don't care. Maybe the first one was a shock. But and then it's like, what are you going to do? He is the only one that he threw me into walls and beat me so bad with the belt, it broke the belt, and I could smell leather and blood. So if you know what leather and blood smells like, then I understand your heritage. But if you don't, then you are very ignorant and very taking things for granted. You can't do that. You can't know what everyone survived just to be a victim. That's not how survival goes. You survive it to stop it from happening. This is not something that is going to keep going. This can be prevented. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Because this doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I've always been so sufficient with myself and kept up with myself. So this is definitely a spiritual thing. It's definitely a spiritual warfare. And then I know if I'm listening to the video, that's going to sound nuts. That's where people just, turn it off. Because I would. that would be where I would turn it off. You would really have to be nosy or interested, or I have finally became interesting and the video has lasted, which I know that's not going to happen. So the reason for this video, well, because number one, I don't necessarily have anyone to talk to. And I know the answer, so it's kind of weird for me to talk to myself. I don't care to look in the mirrors, because look at this, not anything to admire anymore, but I respect me enough to not let everyone else run over me. So that's it, just easy peasy. You see the way I look, it's pretty horrible. But when I was sexy and pretty, and not even a couple of years ago, you were all over this and could not wait to be my friend. So just like high school, you're going to have to pay the principal for this. I don't know how it goes. I really don't. I mean, you guys are definitely on your own on this. I know God the way that He has introduced Himself to me all my life, and I never questioned that. I've always questioned me being a part of His life. I always thought that I was trying to be the best person I could be so God would accept me. So if that tells you what all I survived in life and how, that's the only thing I can tell you. I never wanted to disappoint God. That's all I knew, because my grandparents let me know that as long as I keep my head up high, that I'm fine. As long as I know God. And don't believe lies and don't tell lies. And so they, for whatever reason, my 2-3-year-old self really took to that. And to this day, whatever age that is, because my transplant is making me 4, 5. So I don't know. Life is too confusing. There's other universes out there. It's got to be better than this. And from what I understand in the Bible, this is like the beginning ground. So if this is ground zero, and if you guys are going to keep going through the circular door before you get out later, right? So who knows? So I know I'm going to be like what Dolores Cannon about seeing, but she was a hypnotherapist, so she really got to see all the people that I'm finding out that I am one of them. And I would love for someone to hypnotize me to see what all of this is, because I'm getting that 22nd chakra opening up. I was gifted all of these, I don't know. I mean, they're there for me to look at, and everything keeps telling me that they're mine to have. But I'm trying to talk to people to see how this goes, because I'm assuming you guys know. So I would really appreciate if somebody could tell me. I mean, I'm using the gifts. I want to understand them. Oh, well, you got to go study. I don't have time to study. I'm dying. I need someone who knows what they're doing. And so far, I can't find them. And I don't know. Like I said, die trying. But thanks anyways, guys. Sorry I got to be so ugly. Peace out.